Welcome to another show of Amma Ask Master Anything. Namaste, Master.
Namaste.
My name is Angela, and today we have one really interesting question from our creators.
Go for it.
So his name is, one second, Mashhud Jamel, and he's asking.
Good job, she's pronouncing that name, not me.
We have really interesting people. So his question is, can someone manifest immortality?
Oh, wow. Why would one want to live forever?
I know, I was like, oh, this sounds good. What do you think, Master? Can you manifest mortality?
Actually, it's not a thinking or a concept. Actually, it exists. Especially up in the Himalayan mountains, when you have people who are thousands and thousands of years old, it's very possible. However, the lifestyle is not how we think it is. We can't live a human life and do all the human activities and eat what we eat, do what we do, and practice what we practice, and be able to have immortality actually. So there's a few things to bear in mind here. So the answer to the question is yes. And also at the same time, it's not practical, understanding that it's not practical for the majority of people. And the reason behind it is because, first of all, if you were to meet people who are thousands of years old in the mountains, they don't do much in a day. Like, they are sitting there, they don't take the food that you take, they don't, because when we move, when we do certain things, when we eat certain things, then actually the skin, body changes, deteriorates. So there's certain practices to do to keep that immortality, but it's non-human in that sense. So we'll talk a little bit about that. And then what we can do is we can then talk about something that's really, really interesting. Well, we talk about that. Then we'll talk about the second thing, which is about the soul, because continuation of soul, but we never die anyway. Immortality is in spirit.
So do you think he means like something more like of a superhero mortality, like, you know? Like
Well,
in the movies?
I think he actually means like, well, some people just don't want to die, right? They're afraid of death, but not really truly understanding that death is not death, because if energy can not be created or destroyed, then actually we cannot be destroyed. We can only transfer from one form to the other. But actually, one thing that will be interesting for everybody who's listening, have you ever heard of the Philosopher's Stone?
Yeah.
From Harry Potter?
Yeah.
So all of these movies, and again, the same thing applies. No energy can be created nor destroyed, meaning that none of these topics, nobody can come up with something that isn't already in the collective. So even when directors channel these ideas, it's because the idea came from somewhere. It came from already existence in a parallel universe. And where the Philosopher's Stone is actually a real legit thing, not like Harry Potter style, but it's actually a legit thing. Have you ever heard of do you know how to create gold, create silver? Do you know there's a formula for it?
No.
Okay, so in the same sense that like Grandmaster also has the formula to create gold, which is a very interesting thing, because to a human concept, it's kind of like, you can't create gold. Like, gold is
That's
gold.
what I was thinking. I'm like, well, how can you create gold?
Yeah, because you'll be there creating gold all day long, right? But the interesting thing is, those who actually have that secret in terms of how to create gold don't actually need gold. And it's a very interesting thing, because if you look at and that's why they also given permission to actually for that, because it's for a different use actually. What Grandmaster always says is, he says, if you're in the mountains and you're a yogi, let's say, what are you going to use gold for? It's like, like he says that if you're carrying gold every single day, it's going to be very tiring, you know. It's like you got a lot of hiking, and you're not going to, what are you going to do in the mountains, you know? You're not going to drive a Lamborghini or anything, you know. But the whole understanding of that, and people can actually search this thing is legit, is actually out there. They can actually Google it, they'll find all the information on this actually. Is a concept of actually using urine. And it sounds very pleasant, I know, but it's not. We're not talking about any special superhero or yogi or special person urine. We're talking about any urine can actually do this. The formula is actually there.
So you can create urine, no, gold with urine?
Yeah. So now she's gonna try. She's gonna go home, see what happens, right? So the formula is actually taking urine and applying that in a certain way to metal.
To actual metal.
Yeah, metal.
Okay.
And what happens is, dependent on what metal, right, and what you can add other things also, but usually that's the only formula, is that there will be two stones that can come out of this. And these two stones, one is, if you use one type of stone, basically you will get gold, and if you use another type of stone, you will get silver from it. And actually, that stone is then classed as the philosopher's stone.
Okay.
And the philosopher's stone, as created from it, actually, if you take intake of the stone daily consumption, small bit.
If you intake the stone.
Yeah, but it's not urine, so it's created from
Oh,
urine plus metal stone, right?
When you intake the stone.
she's gonna go home, try immortality now. Okay, so that and the whole concept, the whole formula is because life energy is within urine, life energy.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
And that life energy, when taken, actually primarily is not talking about immortality. Actually, primarily is talking about it's a great medicine. It's cure for anything like cancers and everything. Like I said, this is, I mean, people can listen to this and think, oh my God, what is he talking about, right?
I wonder if you would like to be immortal.
Yeah.
If you really want to be immortal.
But the reality is, it's out there, and it's tested. So people can actually search all the different scriptures. It's from thousands of years ago, actually. But humans have a very fixed mindset, so they won't absorb this stuff. So basically, there is a way to be able to do that, and actually, there's a possibility to achieve immortality from it. Right? That is taught about this physical being.
So what would be like the purpose of being immortal?
I think you got to ask the guy who asked the question, right?
I
I think for most people it's a fear of death, and it's they are attached to certain people in life and life as a whole. You know what they've gone through. Then coming on to the other side of the spectrum, like getting out of, hey, let's try to be immortal here, is that our spirit is immortal anyway. And so it continues to go on. So I think one thing that the journey of the seeker and consciousness is about understanding more about life and how everything works, and detachment, so that we no longer fear. When we no longer fear, we truly live. And when we live, we continue to live, and it continues past this form. And death, to humans, is a sad story. Certain Indian cultures celebrate death,
yeah,
because they understand it differently. So I think this is for people to seek and continue to ask that question. But I think that I like what you said before. In reality, if people really understood life, actually, immortality in this physical body, it should not be goal. Because when we are confined, this is confinement. Think about it. Outside of body, we are free spirit. You can fly, you can go anywhere you want, you can do a lot of different things. In here, you have physical limitations in this physical reality. So
it's like how Grandmaster says, like he likes to eat ice cream and pizza because this is in the only physical form you can actually do, like when you just like energy.
Oh well, so that's what
you go and you cannot eat pizza or ice cream.
So we should experience what we should experience here, but I don't think people should, because of ice cream, decide they want immortality. You know.
No,
I know you would though, Angela.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is like being able just to fully enjoy being mortal and not being immortal. But that's just something that Grandmaster likes to do. Okay, Master, well, thank you so much. It was really interesting to know about urine and how you can become immortal by that.
There's a book There's actually numerous scriptures and books they can read upon it. Actually, they can read. Maybe I show if we shout for Kaina. So actually, there's a book that people can actually read. It's called the Book of Aquarius. Inside actually talks about what we talked about in terms of urine and Philosopher's Stone and what the whole thing is about. All the backing of scriptures and everything is actually in here. The interesting thing is this book is wrote by anonymous. This person who released all of these scriptures and everything didn't want any credit for it, wasn't allowed to get any credit for it. Permission wasn't there. So nobody knows who actually wrote this book.
Oh, and they just wrote the book about...
They wrote the book just to gift this knowledge for the generations to come.
Well, I think he can read this book, anonymous book, just to know how you can become immortal with this.
Yeah, but producing gold shouldn't be for everybody. Yeah, I think people should work hard. Then you get full experience of this lifetime.
Thank you so much, Master.
Thank you.
So guys, if you enjoyed this video, if you learned anything, which I think I did a lot, please let us know. Also let us know where you're tuning from, and if you have any questions that you would like to ask Master, make sure that you comment in our creator circle where we take all the questions from our creators. So thank you so much and have a great day. Namaste.
Namaste.